Today's episode is really heavy but real. Grieving alive parents. It's kind of like a grief that doesn't get talked about enough. People understand when you grieve someone who's passed, but they look at you sideways when you are grieving somebody that is breathing and still on this earth, but just not showing up the way that you want them to.
Everything said on this podcast is strictly for vibes and entertainment. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. And definitely don't try to make it deeper than it is. Nobody's being exposed. Nobody's being subbed. If the shoe fits, lace it up. But that's on you. Also, please don't take advice from someone sitting on their bed with a mic. Be smart. Stay safe. Enjoy this episode.
Just me sitting on my bed talking to you like we've been friends. Hello, it's me again, Muna Karim, and here I am bringing you the Dopest Discreet things. We're going to break this down, the grief itself, why it hurts so deeply, and how to cope and how to reframe your future. This is episode 8. Enjoy. For starters, I want to start off with saying, if you're new here, hi, welcome to Dopest Discreet, the Dopest Discreet Podcast. If you've been here, thank you for coming back. That means you enjoy it. This is probably going to be triggering for some people, so I will say I am going to be talking about parents, not dead, parents that are here, but they don't play their role. Like I said, I do my podcast in segments, so we're going to start off with segment 1, which is naming the grief. I feel like grieving alive parents or a parent is like mourning someone who's still here physically but not here for you emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. I'm gonna dive into that. Grieving alive parents is like mourning someone who's here physically but not the physical way they're supposed to be here for you. And that may look like a parent who left when you were young and you don't really know about. It could be a parent struggling with addiction, choosing a substance over their family, or basically you. In this case, it could be a parent who's present in the house but feels like a roommate. And like, of course, I'm gonna give my own personal view on this topic later in the segments, but right now we're focusing on like naming the grief. Like I said, it could be a parent who's just not there for you the way you need them to be there for you. All around, a parent who just prioritizes something else over you. It's weird because it's like, how do I put it? It's like you feel pain and loss for the same way you would feel pain and loss if the person was gone, but instead of them being gone, they're still here with you on earth. They're just not playing their part that they're supposed to be playing, whether that's your mom or your dad, because we're talking about parents. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people around the world can relate to this whole topic. You either have your dad in your life, your mom in your life, both of them in your life, or none. Damn. Yeah, this gonna be like a very I don't even know if I want to continue this episode because it's gonna hit me. It's already hitting me. We like 1 minute in. Lord have mercy, please help me. Thank you. And let me speak on a lot of I know I said I'm gonna speak on personal point of views later, but this is kind of like what I'm talking about now. It doesn't make sense to other people because they have their parents in their life, or they have both, or they either have one or not the other, or none at all. But for me, like I said, I only have my mom in my life. I don't speak to my father. But again, I'm gonna go deep into that in the next segment. I think it's the next segment. A lot of people don't see it from your point of view is because they have both parents in their life and you probably only have one. So it's like they're never gonna know how you feel when you say you're grieving. I don't know. I feel like grieving is a strong word, but that's literally how it feels, is because like that person is not here, but they are here. They're still on earth. You know where they live or don't. It's just y'all don't speak how y'all supposed to be speaking, you know? This is why I don't record episodes during the day. We gonna wait till it's done. Hold up, cause they gonna keep going. Basically, this whole segment, naming the grief, is I'm trying to get to y'all where it's like mourning the love and attention you needed but you never got from either or parent, or you probably got both your parents and you still feel like you don't have parents because they don't play the role that they're supposed to. Some people got both parents in their life and I treat them well. Some people got both parents in their life and they treat them like shit. Some people got one parent in their life and they treat them better than the other parent. You know, it's different for everybody. But like I said, for me, I'm going to give my personal point of view later segment. That's literally segment 1. It's mourning the love you needed but never got. The hug you wanted but never received, and also the presents you craved but never felt. That's how it is with having one parent or no parent at all. That was segment 1, naming the grief. Segment 2 is how it hurts. Let's get into it. I feel like the hurt cuts very, 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 very deeply because it challenges identity. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Psychology and how this, that, and the third. So basically, when it comes to stuff like this, so for me, for example, like I said, I'm gonna get to my personal point of view later, but for me, for example, I have my mom in my life. I don't have my dad in my life. And I feel like if I did have my dad in my life, a lot of stuff would not be how it is now. I would know certain things. I would know what not to, and what to tolerate when it comes to a man and stuff like that. But I have my mom to teach me that, but it's like she's only teaching me that from her point of view, from dealing with men or a man, which was my dad. Yeah, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Basically, if you are a boy, you need your dad. If you are a girl, you need your mom. At the end of the day, one needs both their parents. So, but if they can't have both, at least one of them. And the parents ain't coming through, I already know the grandparents gonna swoop through. So it's really nothing. But it's like everybody needs their parents in their life. I feel like in life, parents are supposed to be your first source of safety. I don't know if I want to post this. I feel like a lot of people, when I make these episodes, I just know a lot of people around the world can relate. And also, I can relate to every single episode that I've made. I like to create episodes where I know I could share my point of view and I can help somebody maybe in any way, shape, or form. When a bond breaks or never forms between a parent and a daughter or a son or their child, you're left with wounds that will later hurt you and the people that come in your life later in life. Like I said, parents are supposed to be your first source of safety. So imagine if you don't have no parent or you just have one parent. It's gonna leave wounds and shape how you trust people, how you love people, and how you see yourself, which could also look like abandonment, anger, and a whole bunch of sadness. Not when you're just a young kid, but when you grow up into your adult years. That's where I feel like it really hits you, because it's like, damn. Imagine you keep asking that, and your parent telling you, they coming, whatever. They never do. So then it's going to leave you like, okay, damn, whatever. So now when you get older, teenage years, now you about to graduate high school, still not one parent to be seen, or not both parents to be seen. Or like I said in the beginning, it could be drugs, it can be just they just don't want you, they abandon you. It could be anything across the lines. I feel like the whole thing messes with one person's head. At one minute you're angry with yourself, the next minute you're grieving. Mind you, you're grieving somebody that's alive, just don't want to be in your life. And then the next minute you're guilty for even feeling how you're feeling. But then again, it's human. You're a human. You're going to feel. You can sit there and make yourself not feel, but it's just you're going to build up all that emotion, and then you're just going to end up crashing out or in somebody's jail. I do want to say grieving alive parents is like a constant tug of war between you and them, and wishing they change, but they don't want to change, so you're trying to pull back, and they pulling back. Actually, they not pulling back. You doing more of the pulling, and then at one point, you're just going to accept that they may never show up. And once that age hit, for me personally, it was during high school. I was in denial, and then after high school, I'm like, all right, girl, give it up. Did I want to give it up? No. I just let the rope go. The little tug of war rope, just put it down. Like I said from the jump, when I do make my podcast episodes, I do try to make episodes that will feel relatable to some people or majority of people around the world. I also have my point of view on whatever topic I'm doing. So like I said, this is segment 2.5, my personal reflection, and I do want to be real with y'all. This isn't something, like I said, that I just read about somewhere or this, that, and the third, or wherever it may seem. This is what I had went through, and I feel like it would help people. And I just peeped a lot of younger people watch me. Not saying like I'm some old girl, but I'm older than y'all, so it's like a big sister type of vibe. I don't know. This whole episode is grieving alive parents. It's something that I live. Like I said, I only have my mother in my life. My father, he's here, same city, same state, just a couple minutes away actually. I know who he is. I've seen him a few times, but he's never been present as he should be as a father. And I will say that did affect me when I was younger. I used to ask my mom questions about him, like, I was curious. As a little girl, of course, you want your dad. You want to hang out with your dad. Father-daughter dance, elementary school, y'all know the whole thing. But I didn't have any of that because he didn't want to be present in my life. And as a young girl, I would blame myself like, oh, damn, like, you had me, by the way. You brought me to this earth. You didn't have to, really, if you know you wasn't gonna be in my life or didn't want me here. You just, I don't know, for me it was like a boom. You just sit and you realize you're not about to chase or force a grown-ass man to be there for you. Kids know what they doing. So at your big grown age, you tell me you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to be in my life. And like I said, this is around, for me, it's like high school. I'm about to get ready to graduate. Didn't even come to my graduation, none of that. So I'm like, yeah. That's when it actually hit me like, damn, bet, fuck that. So I was like, alright, cool. It wasn't cool at all. I was actually hurt, but it was like, again, you can't force somebody to be in your life if they don't want to be in your life. Especially, they know who you are, they know where you live, and that's just that. At the end of the day, in my head, my mindset is kind of like he knows exactly what role he's supposed to be playing. So if he chooses not to, that's on him. It's no longer on me. It was never on me to begin with. That's what I failed to realize when I was a young girl. But like I said, growing up, it hit you like, the nigga don't want to be there. Okay, leave it, let it be. Don't stress yourself, don't cry, none of that. And one thing I really used to hate, and I know hate is a strong word, but no, I used to hate this shit so bad, and I still do to this day. I would hate when people would say the phone works both ways, so you can call him too, you could text him too, you can go see him too. My nigga, I was younger than what I was now, so what makes you think I'm about to go see him? Let's be for real. I'm the daughter, you're the father. If anything, you should be reaching out to me. You should be trying to talk to me more than I even talk to you. He's the one who should be calling on me. He's the one who should be checking on me. He's the one that should be showing up. He's the father. He put me here. It's not like I put him here. Now, if it was vice versa, okay, but... And to mention, I was always the one calling. I was always the one reaching out. I was always the one checking on him. I was like, damn near, nigga, you my son, nigga. Like, that's what it gave. Like, who's the daughter here? As I kept reaching out and I would see he never once called first. I was the one always calling first. Like I said, as a young girl, who wouldn't want their dad in their life? But it's like, as you get older and you see how people act, you stop talking to them. Don't matter if they family. And I just talked about this in my other podcast episode. You gotta sometimes cut off family and leave them where they weird at. Me reaching out always, it starts to not feel like love. It starts to feel like I was begging, and I'm not one to beg nobody to want to be in my life or force somebody to make it seem like I want them in my life so bad. If they're showing me they don't want to be here, I'm not begging nobody, family or not. And like I said, I did talk about this in my other podcast segment or podcast episode. Leave them where they weird at. It don't matter. And like I said, I do have my mom in my life. I'm so grateful for her. She stood 10 toes behind me and my 3 older sisters. I love that woman down. She deserves nothing but the world and more. She deserves everything that she... Just wait till I get rich. Wait till I get rich. May God make me rich one day. It's not even only about money, because my mom already told me she's rich because she got us. And she got her grandkids. She said the money is going to be an addition. The bigger house is going to be an addition. Me and my mom had this conversation before. I love that woman with my whole heart. But as far as that nigga, booted. Like, he can hit the dog. I had to accept that his absence is his choice. As a younger girl, I did not see that. Of course, I wasn't thinking that. But like I said, as I got older, it's like, People choose what they want to do and what they don't want to do. He don't want to talk to you. He don't want to call you. He don't want to check up on you. Leave it at that. Let it be that. Like I said, when I get rich and when God bless me with more than what he's already blessed me with, I already know who I'm looking for. My mom. If she's been there from the jump, like I said, 10 toes. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for her, I would have never graduated high school. Let's keep it about freak the house. She ain't never been the type to give up on me either, so I love her. Same reason why I'm in college now. It's because of her. Trust me, I would have never went. I did take a gap year. I feel like she's like my motivation. I don't know what the fuck I would do without her. And of course, like I said, I have three older sisters. They done been through it and seen everything. They were just waiting for me to see it for myself. Cause I'll be in denial, like I said, up until before I graduated high school. So I'm like, he's cut. That's it for segment 2.5, my personal reflection. Segment 4 is reframing the future. So a couple things I've learned that would probably help you is acceptance doesn't mean excusing what happened. It just means you stop expecting them to become the parent that they're supposed to be, the parent that you picture them to be, because you picturing somebody to be something and they don't ever do it, it's never gonna work. It's just gonna make you more upset and just disappointed in the end, because they're never gonna do it. So the sooner you realize, the better for you. It will save you from all that crying, all that anger, all that sadness, all that self-blame. You free yourself from an apology or change that may never come to you from that parent. I will say also a promise I made to myself, which I really don't even care to say, because it's like, actually I do care to say it, because I feel like a lot of people need to hear this. Watch who you have kids with. The people that don't have kids yet, watch who you have kids with. And for the people that do have kids and they see that they had kids with the wrong person, if you plan on having more kids, please watch who you have kids with. I told myself, watch who I have kids with. I don't want my kids to grow up in a broken home. I gotta go to daddy's house this weekend. I gotta go to mom's house this weekend. Nah, nigga. You gotta stay here. We were living under one roof. I want a husband. I definitely want a husband. I definitely want kids. And I definitely want a healthy home. Healthy, rich home. And when I say rich, I ain't talking about money. Watch you have kids with and break that generational cycle. Don't let your kids grow up in a one parent household. Yeah, I know a lot of young people are watching this, and I'm gonna post this as a clip too. Do not watch who you have kids with, and do not let your kids grow up in a one parent household. And when people say watch who you have kids with, that shit is real. That shit used to fly over my head. I'm like, how you supposed to know a person? You better study that person to the ground. I'm talking about to the ground. I'm talking about if they families fucked up, leave immediately. Ain't nothing ever turn up good. That just might be my opinion, because a lot of people might disagree with that. But if you meet somebody and it's nothing but red flags, and then you meet their family and it's nothing but more red flags, why the fuck are you there? Don't be surprised if you have a kid and then the whole family just turn on you. It wasn't a surprise, boo. I would say lastly for this segment, it's painful to accept, but it's also powerful. You learn self-love. You learn that love is something you can give to yourself and others. Little do they know, my siblings help me on a daily. They might not even know, but they do. My mom helps me on a daily. She might not know it, but she do. My nephews and my nieces, they are my life. They help me every single day. They make me laugh. That's, like, I don't know. I just love them. They literally all I got. And I'm so glad God blessed me with them. And I'm so glad God blessed them with me. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that's it. I just want to say one more thing. Grief doesn't... How can I put this? Grief doesn't only come with death. Sometimes it comes with distance, silence, and unmet needs. Yes, thank you. If you're grieving a parent who's still alive, you're not crazy and you're not alone, because I can definitely relate. Watch on YouTube. We are now Apple Podcast, so go on ahead and everything will be in the description. Until next time, I'll see you guys on episode 9. Bye.